Hello, my loves. Hi, everybody. How are you? Thank you for joining. Make sure you join. Make sure you like, comment, and share. Make sure you tag your people, whatever. Just you guys come on in for this great conversation we're about to have. This is going to be absolutely amazing. I got my girl, Kolanda, with me, Kolanda Douglas. She is all woman, every woman, I am this and that, she is that. But before we get into our conversation, I just want to know how everybody is doing. My week has been kind of hectic started out, but it's smoothed out during the week. I had to get a fill-in this week. Oh Lord. And I did not know that they were going to be doing all what they did. It was stressful. Usually I have my husband or somebody with me, and I didn't have that. So that was kind of like, ugh. Then I had a freaking nail in my tire. So that happened and other stuff. It was just, but it smoothed out, and my week was well. It was very good. So as you can see, my topic is church girls just want to have fun. And I use that topic because this is what she's about. So I say, hey, why not use it as a topic? So Kolanda is an entrepreneur. She is a mother, a wife. She is a friend. She is a low-key preacher.
Girl.
She is all of that or whatever. Yeah, I'm do y'all just like y'all do me when I come on there talking about I be preaching. She preaching. She is a radio show host as well. She co-hosts the Real Room with Stanley Platts, and that is on Pure Radio, and that's on Saturdays, right? Saturdays at 4. So you make sure you guys tune in if you have not tuned in before. I have been a guest on there before many times. It's basically I'm just a co-host as well.
Yes.
But it's really fun, and she is an author and all of these things. And one of the reasons that me and her we connected through Stanley, oddly enough, because Stanley saw me speaking at an event and he wanted me to come on the radio show. And me and her just vibe, and we've been vibing ever since, and I admire her as an entrepreneur, as a mother, as a wife, all of those things. I admire her, and we have connected doing certain things in entrepreneurship, and we have supported each other, which is so major for me and so key in this world of being women entrepreneurs. We have definitely been there for each other. We have definitely shown up to each other's events. We have definitely encouraged each other. So it is absolutely amazing to have her to be connected and be an addition to what I have going on. And I know if I call her up, she gonna be ready to help me out. And if she call me up, I'm ready to help her out as well. So yeah, Kolanda Douglas, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. I'm doing good.
Yes,
I'm,
ma'am.
if y'all see me fanning my hormones, I am 8 months pregnant now.
Woo!
So, it's hot. I get hot real easily. So I just want to put that. Or if I sound like I'm talking, I'm out of breath. I'm not. It's just a lot going on in my lap. So
Yes, a lot going on in your lap. That is funny. Hey, if you see me fanning, I'm not pregnant. I'm just, a little overweight. No, I'm not. But but yeah, so Kolanda, tell us a little bit about yourself.
okay, so born and raised in Tallahassee. I moved to Jacksonville to go to college. My husband, who was my high school sweetheart, followed me. So we stayed here in Jacksonville. I am a marketing coordinator and a journalist by trade. But on the ministry side of things, I'm the founder of the Church Girls Movement. As Latoya said, I also co-host the Real Room radio show. And I'm really stepping more into like not hiding behind the Church Girls Movement. And so I've been blogging more, having more speaking engagements where I'm not trying to include Church Girls Movement, but like they want Kolanda. So I'm struggling with that. But like Church Girls Movement, I can do that all day because I don't have to be the face of it. But if people want to know the person behind the brand, it's where it's a little harder for me. But I tell people I'm a bona fide church girl, born and raised in church. Mom was a missionary. I used to be embarrassed about that growing up because all my friends knew I was a missionary's kid. And no matter how like much I try to be like them, they knew it was all a front. I'll be out there trying to use profanity. Y'all, it didn't sound right. They could just tell, something was different about me. I didn't want to accept it until I went to college, and that's really what prompted me to start the Church Girls Movement. I got to college and realized, oh, girl, you know so much about Jesus, but you don't have no power. And I realized I had the religion and had the church culture down pat, but I didn't have a relationship. So that's what I do through the Church Girls Movement, and even the products and resources that I create. I really want to promote relationship over religion and help people identify those limiting beliefs that are based on church and religious culture, so we can move forward and see what God wants us to accomplish through us and with us. So that's me.
Yep, that's good. And speaking of, as you guys know, I will be doing a giveaway, and she will be giving away her Bible study journal that is a part of all of this that she has going on. So make sure that you, if you're not, you have to be a mother or a wife to get this. And as well, if you are not, tag someone that is that you think will benefit from this. So make sure that you get them in so we can let you know how else you can give that. That's just one stipulation. You have to be a mother or a wife or you're both. But if you come on, we'll tell you later how you can get this Bible study journal later. So just come on in and make sure you tag them in. If your wife or your baby mama or whoever, however you call them, if you want them to have it, tag them so they can find out how they can get it. Okay. So moving on. So you kind of touched on why you started the organization and all of that kind of stuff. What is the motivation as well behind that? You said about how you didn't know some things and you thought you knew some things, but what do you feel like you can give, or what have you given? I know what you do, but tell them how you feel like you can help other women, other girls, to not have that kind of outlook on religion or the church or anything like that. How do you direct them and help them with that?
So like my main, like in a nutshell, my mission with Church Girls Movement is I didn't realize that I did not have a relationship with the Lord until I was in college. And I realized like, okay, so what? I made it this long and I didn't get pregnant. So what? That didn't mean anything to me because I still, although I didn't get pregnant, I still didn't have a relationship. And like a lot of other girls I went to church with, they were having babies. And I was like, well, at least I'm not doing that. But then I didn't have any power. So
that's good.
I really used the movement to try to let other young women know, like, first of all, you're not the only one. That I do understand that growing up in church, we get a lot of scripture thrown at us, and we're not always taught what it means, how to apply it to our life, or how to develop a sense of personal application. So we have a lot of scriptures memorized, but we don't know how to use them to our benefit. So that's really one of the main things I do with the Church Girls Movement. With my events, with my resources, I really want to show people like we need to be building our faith upon His word, upon our personal experiences with the Lord, not based on how many services you've been to, how many ordinances you observe, whether you wear pants or not, whether you wear a doily on your head or not. Like, it's all based upon the word of God. And if you don't have a relationship with Him and knowing what His word says and what He says about you, it don't matter how many times you did communion. It doesn't matter how many times you done feet washing. I don't care if you wear a white suit every first Sunday. None of that matters if you do not know the Lord for yourself. And so that's what I really want people to understand. Like, okay, it's good to observe these services. It's our outward expression of what we believe, of our faith. But that stuff don't get you into heaven.
Right.
And so I guess in the sense I was kind of tired of thinking like, man, I spent a lot of Sundays in church. I went to a lot of revivals, a lot of conferences. And one day when my pastor here in Jacksonville said salvation was not the only goal, I was like, what? There's more?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I was just living saved. And then like, I'm just waiting for the Lord to sweep me up in the air. And I
My
think a
God.
lot of people think like that,
Yeah.
like that heaven is the only goal, but there
Yeah.
is more that the Lord wants us to do. And so I kind of call those things limiting religious beliefs, things that we've been taught or things that we see. And so we don't believe that the Lord can do more. And so we just think heaven is the only goal. That's what I'm living for day to day. And we neglect the purposes that he's given us and the gifts he's given us to share with other people. So
that is so good, and that is so true, man. I have found lately, I've been saying to myself, there's a lot of stuff that we have to unlearn. It's a
yes,
lot of stuff that we really have to really study to show ourselves approved, because a
yes,
lot of times we take a lot of stuff from what other people say and what other people have done, and we just take it for your word is bond. And then it's like, no, then you come to find out, oh, you didn't even use that right. Did you really study that? Did you
right.
did you read the scripture that was before and after it? Did you really get into it? Did you do background check? Like, did you really, or did you say it because it sounded good? You did it because it looked good? Did you really know the reasoning behind all of that? Or you just did it because grandma and granddaddy or auntie, uncle, and mom and daddy said this is what you should do? So I've been finding that I do a lot of research on stuff. You just can't come tell me stuff.
I know
I
that's
go, I have a concordance, all that kind of stuff, because I go and I reference stuff and I go and double check all that, because what I don't want to do is we can do a lot of work with no impact. And we do a lot of stuff that looks like we're getting to heaven, and then we can miss out. A lot
yeah,
of us could be right on our way to hell and don't even know it. You know what I'm saying? Because we're going off of what we think is the right way. And
yeah,
we don't really know, because we're not studying ourselves, or we're not really opening our minds to, oh, this may not really be what it is. And sometimes we're so stuck in the way that we were taught that we don't want to know another way.
yeah.
So that can be tough as well.
That's so good. When you were talking, it made me think about the scripture that talks about how we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. And a lot of times when we hear that, we hear it like we're not ignorant. We know he uses jealousy, envy, and strife, to tear us apart. But then the Lord started dealing with me about that scripture in a different way. Like your own ignorance could be the
Mm-hmm.
way that the enemy tears at you. So it's not
Yeah.
always what somebody else does.
No.
Or the fact that we're perishing for a lack of knowledge,
Yeah.
it's ignorance. And so you ought to want to know things for yourself.
Yeah.
And instead of just depending on a man or the woman of God to feed you what thus saith the Lord, because every word that is spoken to you is not for you. And
Now that's it.
you have to have discernment to know, okay, nope, that's not for me. That's good though. That was
Absolutely.
my words. But
Absolutely.
we don't know that if we don't have a personal relationship. There are people who use the word and make decisions from just what they heard, but they're not seeking personal application. Like, Lord, okay, how does this apply, to me?
Yes.
So we're
That's so,
perishing because of our ignorance.
yeah. That is so good, and that's so true. We sit around and we're like, thinking of these things and thinking that, this is what we should be doing, or we feel like this is the right way to go because it may feel good to us. But a lot of times the right way to go may not feel good to you.
Yeah,
Sometimes a lot of times you gotta sacrifice some things. You gotta put the temptation to the side, and I don't know if you've seen, and I know I watched a clip of it, but I didn't watch all of it. Shoot, Jackie Hill Perry. Is Jackie
yeah,
Perry? Yeah, Jackie Hill Perry. Okay, she did an interview and she touched on her past being a homosexual or whatever. And so she was saying how, that doesn't mean that I'm not tempted anymore. It just means that I put my temptation under the control of Christ. I put my temptation under that control. That doesn't mean that I don't still think that women look good. That
right.
doesn't mean that I am not, every now and then I may think about it. That doesn't mean that. It just means that I love God more. to
Right.
put my temptation under his subjection. And there's a lot of times we mess up where we think we're supposed to just have everything just gone, everything's supposed to go right, and we're not supposed to think certain ways, look. And yes, thoughts turn into actions a lot of times, but if you learn how to put that thing under the subjection of Christ, then you won't have to really worry about it. But when we try to lock it away and we try to act like it doesn't exist, and that's with anything in life, when we try to act like it doesn't exist, that's when it overtakes us. But we're so caught up on, oh, you just can't do this and you can't do that, and you shouldn't look like this and you shouldn't look like that, and we're missing the mark, and then we end up falling into things that we didn't want to fall into, but we weren't honest with ourselves and we weren't honest with God. So
See, that's an area where we do have to unlearn, because sometimes when we do altar call, they made it, some people make it seem that once we go to the altar is one and done, you heal.
Yeah.
What they don't teach you is that it is something that you're going to have to continue to practice obedience in this area. You're almost like an addict, and so an addict will continue to be an addict.
That is it.
Forever, because while they are practicing staying away from whatever their drug of choice was. But that's something we have to unlearn. Like, yes, the Lord can take the taste out of your mouth immediately.
Yeah.
But you still have to do the work.
Yes.
And practice staying away from it. Like you said, put it all under subjection, because now that you opened up Pandora's box.
Yeah.
So you touched that, you looked at that, you did that. Yeah. So now you have to teach yourself to, okay, that was not right. But it's going to be something that you're going to have to continue to practice. And deliverance is a big area where we have to learn some things. Yeah.
It is. That's so good. And when you said addiction, I say it to people all the time, I am addicted to coffee and Pepsi. Now, to other people, that may not seem like anything major. But every time I think about it, when I go to the store and get me a Pepsi, I go in there and make me a cup of coffee, and I think about how I just gotta have it. I just need it because I just want it. I don't need it. I just want it that bad. So how am I to look at someone that has a drug addiction or has an alcohol addiction or has a sexual addiction, has other kinds of addictions, and think they're supposed to, and you think yourself that you're supposed to just get over it real quick? Honey, It is hard for me to get rid of these Pepsis and these coffees. So how in the world do you think that overnight you're going to be over the sexual addiction and all that kind of stuff? Because I know when you see it on TV, because it's everywhere. You see this stuff on TV or you hear somebody talking about it. It clicks. It is something that ignites you on the inside. But again, you have to talk yourself out of it. And I'm working on it, Lord, because these Pepsis and these coffees gonna take me out. But I think about that kind of stuff when I talk to people and I coach people and I try to help people with their issues. I always tell them it's a process. It's not going to happen overnight. Even when I coach people, when you talked about the altar, when I have coaching sessions with people, I tell them, hey, the first couple of sessions, it may feel like this thing not even working, because you have to work through some of the stuff that even got you to the point of needing me to help you. So you have to get to that first before you can even get to the overcoming and the getting out of it and all that kind of stuff. It's a process, man. It's not going to happen overnight. Some people, he will snatch it away real quick and it may not ever be an issue for them again. But some people, it may not. In some instances, it may not. But you just have to have something in you that means more than you having that.
Right.
So that was good, Kolanda. That blessed my life. So let's talk a little bit about you and your husband. You're married to the Marcus Douglas, who is a musician, and he is a producer and all that other kind of stuff. He is awesome. I love him. He's awesome. So talk about your journey in marriage.
Woo, child. I think I mentioned earlier, Marcus and I are high school sweethearts. A big part of my story is that I was a virgin when I got married. We dated for 7 years, and I was a virgin when I got married. And what I have, maybe my second book, I learned that I was so messed up before I really came to the Lord, because it was like, okay, I didn't have a baby, I wasn't having sex, but I still had no sense of purity. I was trying to take pride in the fact that I was a virgin, but I still didn't have a pure heart, didn't have good thoughts. I was still doing other stuff. So that I had a sense of like pride about my virginity. But going into marriage, and I deal a lot with marriage through church girls as well, because I feel like I don't know if it was assumed that because Marcus and I were together so long that, or maybe this was just a general practice, that a lot of premarital counseling wasn't needed. So I only remember talking to our pastor who married us, which is our pastor back home, maybe a few months before the wedding, and we talked to our pastor here a few weeks before the wedding. But when we got married, we realized, oh God, there was a lot of stuff we like skipped over.
Yeah, I think that's just, I talked to a few couples about that. I don't think that I think it's just a mandate that they only do a few sessions. I don't think
Like,
it's
I feel like
ever.
people need to have sessions. When you say you're engaged, I think your
Yeah,
counseling should
you
start
do. You
then.
do.
Your
You
counseling should
do.
start then. And
You
so as
do.
a result of like some of the stuff that we've dealt with, that's why I do some of the resources and the events that I host, because I think that first of all, y'all gonna get me off on the tangent. First of all, we're already taught differently. You know,
Right.
they're grooming us as women to be wives since, for a long time. We've been groomed this way since before we were teenagers. And then on the other hand, you're not really grooming the men to be husbands. So here we are going into marriage with two different levels of preparedness. And so there was a lot of
Yeah.
different stuff that Marcus and I did not discuss during our dating, and even dating so long. Sex was a big area of intimacy, was a big area because, think about it, I'm a virgin.
Yeah.
So you already have expectations. I had expectations as
Yeah.
well, but wasn't comfortable, discussing sex because I had been for so long. Don't you do nothing. Keep your legs closed.
Yeah.
Don't talk about it. And if you keep yourself on your wedding night, it's gonna be the best thing you ever had. And nobody ever said, "Okay, girl, you're gonna have to talk about it. You're gonna have to tell them what you like." And I was like, "Well, how do I know what I like?" Like, just to be able to have those conversations. And we didn't talk about that kind of stuff when we were dating, except that we was ready to have sex, but not talking about what are your expectations? What are mine? What do you like? We didn't find out about that kind of stuff early on in marriage. And so during marriage, we had to learn that stuff. So now I'm on a mission to nope, y'all, let's talk about this as soon as we can in these marriages, even
Yes.
while you're sometimes dating
Yeah,
requires
while
it
you're dating. Yeah.
at a certain
Absolutely.
time. But definitely when you're engaged, let's not get married
Definitely when
without
you're
discussing these.
absolutely.
But he's been very supportive. I love my husband because I tell him all the time, he married my potential. I know that doesn't work for everybody.
Yeah.
I didn't have a thing to offer Marcus Douglas. All I had was a college degree. I didn't have no job prospects. None of that
That's
stuff.
good.
I didn't have anything to offer him but potential, but he still, saw fit to marry me. And then when I got pregnant with Makai, I was like, I'm gonna quit my job and be an author. He was like, you can write your books, but you got to keep that job. So he's been very supportive, as
Yeah.
I continue to grow and blossom. And now it makes sense that I'm doing this, and I wish I had done it sooner, but I'm grateful for the experience because now I got something to talk about.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I love my husband. He's very supportive. So
That is so good. Real quick, everybody, don't forget we're doing a giveaway. Make sure if you are a mother and a wife, or either or, make sure you listen to how you can get her Bible study journal that she has. And if you want to tag a mother or a wife, do that as well. And we will give the instructions of how you can get this. You said something that was so key to me, was that he married your potential.
yeah.
A lot of times we talk about that when it comes to a man, that women marry the potential. And to hear a woman say, I had nothing to offer him, he married the potential of me. That is so awesome to me because, like I said, we oftentimes look at we got to build a man up and we got to help the man get to his potential. But sometimes the man may be there and you're not,
Right.
but a lot of times we put that weight on the man, and it's always my question to women who have these expectations of men: what are you bringing to the table? If you have
Right.
those expectations, what are you bringing? And does he think that what you're bringing is that great? You may think it's great. You may think it's absolutely amazing. He may think you just having a college degree was absolutely amazing, but you don't. You know what I'm saying? So who knows? So to put those kind of expectations on somebody and to think that you just this gift and this greatest thing, which you are on a level, but to think that, he just got to take you as you are, that you have to give it both ways if you gonna
Right.
think like that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So to say that was absolutely awesome for you to say. I've never heard a woman say that ever in my
Oh
life.
yes, child. I didn't have nothing. And as a matter of fact, like I didn't even have good sense because I was like, I can't find a job after we got married. I can't find a job. I'll go back to school. So I went back to school instead of like trying to find a job. But my husband's been self-employed since before we got married. So he had everything to offer. Like I was excited to put my name on his bank account because I didn't have nothing. Like I didn't have a thing. I tell him all the time, like, babe, you really had to have known that I was going to be somebody one day and that this was
Yeah.
because I was still trying to figure it out. And so that's like an area where I want couples to talk more about because
Yes.
there was a little friction when I did decide to shift and become a writer, especially we had already had our son when I actually started, because I gave you this false impression of who I wanted to be. And so you married all of that thinking that I was going to be satisfied with this type of life. And then out of
Yeah.
nowhere, one day I was like, nope, I don't want to do that. I want to do something totally different. And, it wasn't fair to you, but it's because
Right.
I didn't know me well enough
Right.
to tell you
That's
who you had to
good.
marry. So,
That's good.
and I knew, I mean, it was a lot of friction during that time, but thankfully we worked it out. And now now that I know who I am, I can tell you what I want.
Yeah.
But at that time, me and him was both trying to figure out what is that you want, Kolanda. And it's like, I don't know, maybe I'll try a little of this and try a little of that. And he really married my potential.
But
Girl,
that's so key though, to relationships. Sometimes you got to fight through it with the person and fight the situation. You have to, tussle sometimes. Sometimes you will have that friction. Sometimes you have that, I just don't understand. Like, what the heck is going on? You're lost and you just confused.
right,
Sometimes you have that, and the answer is not to give up. The
right,
answer is, let's figure this thing out. Let's figure out what we need to do. Let me help you figure out what we need to do,
right,
to get to where we're trying to get. But that takes time. That takes effort. That takes me actually wanting to be with you. That takes me actually loving you for real and desiring you, that I want to stick it out long enough till you figure it out,
right,
and that is so good. And that's what I want. And that's what I want couples to catch, and I want people to catch before they get in relationships. Sometimes you're gonna have that moment where it's like, I just really don't understand, and I'm really trying to figure out, and I'm real confused, and I'm but we gonna fight through this thing because it takes two. Both of us gotta get in the ring and fight through this thing to make it through. So that's really good. So we're talking about your marriage. So let's talk about your journey as well as a mother.
okay. Um, so we had Makai after 5 years of marriage, no problems. Like it was a good pregnancy. And then when we decided, like 3 years later, Makai had some food allergies and some other stuff going on. His speech wasn't like where we wanted it to be. So I was trying to give myself and Makai sometimes. I don't want to have another baby on top of me trying to still figure out what you need from your mommy and daddy before we bring somebody else.
Yeah.
So, but because it had been so easy the first time, girl, I ain't think nothing like it's gonna be easy whenever we're ready. 2018, tried again, found out I was pregnant. Went on a family vacation for a week, came back from the vacation and did an ultrasound. We had Makai at the doctor's office with us with his big brother's t-shirt on and everything. And it was like, I'm sorry, we do not see a heartbeat. We were like, what? And we had already been to an appointment weeks before to confirm the pregnancy. and we couldn't hear the heartbeat at the time, but they saw it on the screen. So, man, we were devastated. That was something like we would have never, expected to hear. And that was a rough recovery, to have to remove the fetus from our uterus. I was I was allergic to the medicine that they sent home with me.
Wow.
So then I stopped taking it because I had vomiting and everything. So I stopped taking it, and the medicine was meant to help you get rid of the rest of the fluid. It's already it can be a painful process already. Right. So I mean, she, gives me some medicine to help me pass the rest of the fluid. Wow. And because I had to stop taking the medicine because I was allergic to it, I was literally in labor. Like I was having labor pains and had to go back to the doctor. My mom had come down. We were trying to let Marcus sleep because I think Makai had to go to school the next day. And I knew it was hard for my husband to see me like that. But I'm on my mama's lap early in the morning having contractions every few minutes. And then to get to the doctor, and then it's because I still have a lot of fluid. And, to have to walk away from all that and not have a baby, girl, I was so upset with God. I was like, you know what? I don't even want to talk. Like, I know you there, but let's not even talk. Like, just be there, but I don't want to have anything I want to say to you. So I thought I had got past that. Tried again in 2019. And when we went to the doctor to confirm the pregnancy, it was like, we don't even see where the fetus even developed. So I was like, well, God, because this time I say, you know what? I'm not going to have any expectation. That way, whatever you want to do, Lord, whether the baby's here or not, at least I won't be as disappointed. But I was still just as disappointed because now I didn't have any expectation. It's like, I can't believe you did this again to us. And then, so it's funny that I'm pregnant now because I think like November last year, like my last appointment from the last miscarriage, I found out the day after my birthday that I had miscarried again. But this time the procedure went smoother because now we know that I'm allergic to this type of medication. And I wasn't as far along, so it wasn't as invasive, but still devastating. You walking in, everybody got baby bumps, and you here for a totally different reason. So, and I was mad at my body both times because my body did not naturally pass it. So I'm like, God, you got me walking around with a dead thing in my body. So that made me feel even more inadequate, that my body does not even recognize that this thing is not even living anymore. So I have to like go through this physically because my body won't do what it's supposed to do naturally. So November, my doctor said, Kolanda, try again. Just trust me, try again. I was like, girl, maybe in January, but I'm going to give God the rest of 2019 and we'll start in 2020. And she said, trust me. She said, women who, try again immediately after miscarriage are often more successful. So we had already waited a year since the last one. And girl, I wasn't even trying. Got a positive pregnancy test January 1st.
That's how it happened.
So, January 1st, I was pregnant, and
awesome.
Like, oh my God, I'm not gonna tell a lot of people because I need to get my faith up.
Right.
I don't depend on anybody else's faith to get me through this. So for the first trimester, Marcus and I really didn't share with anybody. It was me every day. I don't feel pregnant today, guy. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know if this is being easier than the last time, but I don't feel it today.
Right.
But I wanted to be more honest with him about how I was feeling and what I was going through, because I was like, I'm the one who has to host this baby, so I need my faith to be intact so I can do what I'm supposed to do.
Absolutely.
And here we are at the 8th
March,
ready to have a baby.
Awesome! I'm so excited.
God is good.
He is, because I knew your journey or whatever, so I was so excited when you announced, because I had been around you and everything. You said nothing, honey. So when you announced it, I was like, well, where did that come mom, but I understand.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
understand when you've been through all of that. I get it. Everybody don't have to know, you know what I'm saying? But that's awesome. And then you're having another boy though.
another boy,
How
another.
is it being a boy mom? Because I have one and I can give him away. I love him, but I can
Yeah,
give him away.
they are out there out the chain. It's a different pregnancy too because Makai was more cool,
Yeah.
relaxed in my womb. But now he's very active. But now this baby, God, he's so active. Like if he's not active, I'm like he must be asleep because he's so active. So I'm hoping he's more chill in the womb. But it's hard to believe that we're here. It's like I believe it, but it's like I won't probably believe it until I
Until
get
you
hold
see
him.
him.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like I feel
Yeah.
him, and I know it, and I know we're preparing, but like to have him in
Yeah.
my arms is gonna make you like, oh my God, I cannot believe you're here.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you can't really have the full experience with all this COVID stuff going
Right.
on. So that doesn't really help it, So, but we believe in God, you're gonna have a healthy baby, a healthy
Yep.
delivery, a safe
Yes.
delivery. We believe in that. I'm so happy for you guys. That
Thank
is
you.
gonna be absolutely amazing. Have your two boys. Boys
Yep.
love now I will say boys love their mama, honey.
Yes,
And
they
we love
do.
and we love our boys hard. Understand? It's nothing like a mother and a son relationship. I tell you
Yeah.
that. But
Yeah.
yeah. So everyone, like I said earlier, we are doing a giveaway. So if you are a mother or a wife, you can get this Bible study journal that she has. If you go to my Complete Woman group on Facebook and join it, also, if you go to her website, Church Girls Movement, wait, okay,
Oh,
churchgirlsmovement.com,
yeah.
and go click on the join the movement button and join the movement. When you do that, we'll go and we'll check it and see who has done that. And also what I'm looking for is if you are a wife, how long have you been married? Put that in the comments. If you are a mother, how long have you been a mother? Put that in the comments. And I will make sure to let you know. We will let you know tomorrow if you have won this giveaway. And I am looking for the shortest marriage and the shortest length of time of being a mother, because I feel like starting out in these ventures of being mother and wife, this Bible study journey will absolutely help. It will
Yeah.
absolutely help you through, and joining this church girls movement will absolutely help you, and being part of my Complete Woman group will absolutely help you. All of these things will help you with the steps of being a mother and a wife, because there's no handbook.
Right.
None at all.
No
And
man.
you can take what we say and apply it to yours, but make it your own. Make your marriage how you want your marriage to be. Make your raising your kids the way you want it to be. But I believe the support of these groups will absolutely help you, because I don't know about Kolanda, but I know I didn't have these support groups when I started out, so I didn't really know. So, I'm on my second marriage, but bless God, he's amazing, and my children are amazing. I have 4 kids and they are amazing, thank God, but I didn't have these support groups and these people that can actually tell you, hey, this is going to happen. This is what the real deal of it, and not the sugar coated stuff. So
Right.
I
Right.
know me and Kalena don't sugarcoat.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So
We don't want
make
to be
sure.
special. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. So make sure you go join the Complete Woman group on Facebook, and also go to her churchgirlsmovement.com website and click on the join the movement button. And we will let you know tomorrow. And also put it in the comments how long you have been married or how long you have been a mother. Make sure you put that in the comments and tag people if you think that they can benefit from it as well, if they're not a part of this video. So moving on, Kalanda, you have done a lot. Like I've attended, people say I do a lot, but you have done a lot. You have a blog, you have these events. I have attended most of your events or whatever. And one of the events that keeps sticking out to me is the what is it called? The one with the wives.
Bridal shower.
That one. Yeah. See, you got so much stuff, girl. So that one I have attended, and it's absolutely great. And I thought that was an absolutely awesome idea. And you have a retreat coming up, which I'm mad I can't make. because I was trying. But you have a retreat coming up. But is the admission, what is it? The ticket sales have closed for that?
Yeah, yeah.
But tell them about it anyway so they can look out for it next year.
Okay. So what I was normally doing was a big brunch or lunch for married women and women who wanted to be married. Because I want to, like Latoya says, we're very transparent about marriage, and it's because I really don't want women guessing about what she meant or like what should I do, because that's how I was. I wish somebody would have sat down with me and said, girl,
Yeah.
all you got to do is X, Y, and Z, and this is how you fix that or whatever. But I didn't have that. So until later in my marriage. So that's what I tried to do with the bridal shower. Last year we talked strictly about sex.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, because I wanted, people to start thinking about it, before they got married. So what I decided to do is, after the last one, it felt like people still had questions and there was just not enough time.
Yeah.
And I feel like the most or the
That's
best
true.
transformations happen in smaller settings. And so I started doing, this year is our first bridal retreat. So I rented a nice vacation home, and COVID is throwing a lot of stuff off, but God is still good.
Yeah, he's good.
He is still good. So we're still gonna go. We're gonna do everything we have to do to make sure everybody is safe, especially, I'm pregnant. So we really
Yeah.
going above and beyond with the, making sure things are safe and clean. But it's a weekend getaway for married and engaged women only. But I think I'm gonna continue it. I was telling Marcus yesterday that next year I want to go to Miami. So I don't know how many times
Absolutely.
a year I will do it, but it's something that, like, the Lord's like, okay, I really like this. And so this time I'm going to focus on the marriage vows, and we're going to break them down line by line, precept by precept, like the scripture says, so people know what they committed themselves to. Because on that day we're really just repeating after the pastor, but we need to make sure we know what he said, what we're committing to.
Yeah, I saw the outline on the website and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm gonna miss this. It's gonna be so good. But I definitely believe that you should do it every year, like, because that is needed not only for the camaraderie and the conversation, but that is needed for the release. Because women, to get away from their husbands or the fiancés or whatever for a
Right,
weekend, to be
right.
able to relax, that would be absolutely amazing. So yeah, if you can keep doing it, honey, keep doing it. Keep
Yeah,
doing it.
that's my goal, is to keep doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be great. I think your events usually turn out very good. So I definitely think that'll be great. And I definitely am gonna be looking out for next year to COVID through all that stuff out, because I really didn't, yeah. But anywho,
Yeah.
because I'm still trying to figure out if I'm gonna be doing. I had to cancel my event that I was gonna do this year, and I'm still figuring out if I'm still gonna do, my event. But bless God, hallelujah
Yeah.
anyhow. And again, everyone, we are doing this. You go fanning. We are doing a giveaway for her Bible study journal. Make sure that you go to, if you are a mother or wife or both, make sure you go to my Complete Woman group on Facebook and join, and go to her website, churchgirlsmovement.com, and click on the Join the Movement button and join the movement. And then in the comments, let us know how long you have been married or how long you have been a mother. And so we will let you know tomorrow who has won that, okay? All right, to close out, Kolanda, what makes you a complete woman?
I think it has to do with not like ability, but more about mindset. Used to be a time where I didn't think that, maybe this happens with a lot of women. When you get married or you become a mom, you kind of put your aspirations to the side.
Absolutely.
But it was like really heavy on me when after I had Makai. I didn't want to just be his mom, and I didn't just want to be Marcus' wife. I wanted to be someone that Makai would be proud of, and that Marcus would be proud to say, yeah, man, that's my wife. So my mindset is that I know that there are things that the Lord has for me to do. I know being a wife and being a mom are part of my callings in life, but
Yeah,
there are other things that He's given me to do. And so I think what makes
absolutely.
me a complete woman is that I have that mindset, and I'm after the fact that I can have it all. I may not be able to have it all
Yes,
at the same time on the
yes,
same day, but I can have it all. I can have
yes,
a healthy marriage, children who are obedient and
yes,
care for and taken care of well, and still be the woman who is able to fulfill and to pursue passion. And so I think that's
yes.
what makes me a complete woman. I've had to like let go of, like, I may not be able to be entrepreneur Kolanda 5 days
Yeah,
a week. Some days I have to be mom more than others, especially now that, everybody's home. But that's okay. Like, I feel
yeah.
like this time is invaluable. Like, we're making memories that our children are going to remember for a long time to come. And then the Lord is still producing stuff from me even during this time. Is giving me more time to, do some things that I've dreamed about for years, but they've been on the back burner because I was, growing my family. So I think that's what makes me a complete woman, that I realized finally that I can have it all. I can't have it all at one time or even on the same day, but I can't have it all. So
That's so good because that is exactly what the complete woman is about. I want women to remember that they are a woman first.
yeah,
Like it, don't get so caught up in these titles. Don't lose yourself in being a mother and a wife, because if your husband or your kids are not there, who are you then? You know,
right.
so, and I have learned that, and I think God, I already had that kind of mindset before my kids started leaving for college. Because what would I do? And a lot of us as mothers, we don't know our husband because we have invested so much in our children that we forget to invest in our husbands, or we invested so much in our husbands that we don't even know ourselves. So then we're looking at them like, what you gonna do? How you gonna make me happy? No, make yourself happy. Be complete before you even get these things, or while you have them, so that you can be okay. Because you are a woman first. That was what you were created to be when you
Right.
came to this earth, is a woman. Point blank. So make sure that you keep that close, and so that was so good what you said. So guys, that is all that I have today with Miss Kolanda. Thank you so much, Kolanda, for joining me. I appreciate
Having
it.
me.
Is there any other way that they can reach you if they want to contact you, or if they want you to come and speak or do anything? How can they reach you?
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram, Kolanda Douglas. I have a website, www.kolandadouglas.com. Um, yeah, I especially want y'all to
Awesome.
get the journal because y'all, we
Yeah,
can't
if you
afford
even
to
if
be losing out due to ignorance. So we
Yeah,
need
even
to,
if you don't get it in the giveaway, make sure you go and purchase it. Go to her
yeah,
website and purchase it, and all of the other stuff that she has, because she has other products as well. So just go on there and look at it and get what you feel like you need to have, because it definitely will be helpful. So that is absolutely amazing, and I'm so glad that you joined. I am definitely excited for everything that is happening with you. If you guys want to contact me, you can go to my email, thecompletewoman19@gmail.com. If you have any questions for me, even if you want to get in contact with her, you can't get in contact with her any other way, you can get in contact that way as well. And make sure, if you also want to follow me, you can go to my pages as well, Latoya Shante, Latoya_Shante. Okay. So, because I'm not gonna, I need to condense my stuff.
yeah.
Oh Lord help, I need to condense my stuff. So anywho, just you find I didn't know. So yeah, and make sure you check out my Complete Woman podcast. This episode will be on that podcast. So make sure you check that out. I will put up that information at some point so you can go and subscribe. It also will be on YouTube. Go check out my other YouTube stuff at Latoya Shante as well on my YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to that as well. And also, if you have a topic you want me to talk about, you can go to that email, thecompletewoman19@gmail.com as well, and check that out and make sure you shoot me the topics that you want. And if you want to join me on my videos, you can do that as well there. Okay, so thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys. Remember, look out tomorrow and we will let you know who has won that journal. Okay, it will be very beneficial to you, so don't miss out on it. We love you guys. Goodbye, my loves.